Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I got some tips for you because every once in a while, like every couple months, I like to bring out a tip video about things that you should prepare yourself, especially if you're a new cruiser, and even if you're an experienced cruiser, something that might just turn around and make your next cruise just a little bit less stressful and a little easier. And no matter how many times I say some of these tips, I still get people who don't do them and then regret it afterwards. Number one, a lot of people often overpack, and I mean overpack, to the point where they literally don't use over half the things in their suitcase. Yet they're paying the extra baggage fee to get it there by plane, or they're lugging these suitcases around in their hotel rooms, and why? You're on a cruise. What do you really need on a cruise? You might need a couple formal shirts. You might want to dress up. If you're one of those people who like to dress up in a tuxedo, okay, you have your tuxedo. You don't need 4 tuxedos or 4 suits. You know, women might like a few more nice dresses for dancing at night, and that's accepted. But I see people, I've seen guys pack 9 on a 7-day cruise, 9 pairs of running shoes. What the heck are you doing with 9 pairs of running shoes? But I believe it or not, I've seen it. And they are walking onto this, cruise ship with 6 bags, full-size luggage. And then they're trying to find storage for it in their room. And it just makes their room feel tight the whole time. So if you can avoid it at all, try not to overpack at all. Speaking of where you're going to put your cabin, always look at the deck plan, research it out, and find a good place for your cabin that you're looking to book, because some people are very, very light sleepers. If you're a very light sleeper, you don't want to be underneath the pool deck. You don't want to be near an elevator. Some people have motion sickness. If you have motion sickness, you don't want to be in the front of the ship up high. You want to be lower mid-ship. Position yourself where it's less movement. There's things to consider when you're booking your cabin. Don't just willy-nilly choose a cabin and then complain for the rest of the cruise how your cabin's noisy or you're feeling sick because you booked the wrong cabin. If you have some of these tendencies, make sure you're booking where you should be staying. Another thing that can be a little controversial out there is I don't tip for drinks, because the cruise lines already include 18 to 21% gratuity on my drink that I'm getting. And if I order a Diet Coke, which is normally what I'm drinking on the cruise ships, and the guy takes the glass, goes in the fountain, hands me a Diet Coke, he's already getting 18 to 21%. Now, if I struck up a conversation and sat at that bar night after night and talking to this, then I would tip. But I'm never at the same bar. I don't hang out in the bars. I don't do that kind of thing. So yeah, be careful. Don't think they're not getting tips. They're already getting tips built into the fee of the drink you're drinking. Even if you have the drink package, it's included every time you buy a drink. Careful of that. Another thing I see people make this mistake all the time is they don't put their phone on airplane mode. You probably hear people say this all the time. Airplane mode, because you may have a plan that is good all through the Caribbean and wherever you're going. Europe, I have this plan. I only have to pay this much when I'm there. But all it takes is you to go out just outside of an area of land and your cell phone hits the satellites. And now you're being charged satellites because your plans usually don't include satellite time. And the satellite time is a fixed rate, and it is expensive as all heck. And you can get some huge roaming charges. Even, I've seen people say, well, I have a European plan, and then all of a sudden they got home and they had $1,000 phone bill because they hit the satellite. So be careful. only put yourself on cell phone mode when you're on the ship, like airplane mode. If you have a European plan, then you can take it off when you're on land. But wait till you get on land so you don't have those surprises. Next, another thing that people always kind of do on cruises is they try and do everything that you possibly can. Oh, we got a long day. We get there at 8 a.m. We don't leave till 6 p.m. Let's do 2 shore excursions that day. And they're exhausted at the end of the day. And then at night, they go to dinner. Oh, and then we got to get to we got a production show. We got a production show that night. Oh, and then we got the aqua show after that we're going to go see. And then they just get to by day 3, they're exhausted. They haven't taken any time to relax and enjoy the vacation. You see that in Disney World a lot, right? People just running and going, trying to get everything in. And by the time they come back from their vacation, they need a vacation from their vacation. So try and plan in a little bit of time to just relax on your trip. You'll find you'll have a much more enjoyable vacation if you do that. Another thing to do is definitely arrive before the ship is setting sail. If your ship is setting sail on Sunday and you have to fly to the destination, fly in at least on Saturday. I know you're adding an extra night hotel. Go stay at a lower end Motel 6 if you have to. But it's far better than having a flight delay and then missing your entire cruise because you didn't want to pay for one hotel night. I had somebody call me up once saying, "We just missed our ship. What do we do?" I said, "Well, how did you miss your ship?" They said, "Well, we booked a 6 a.m. flight, but it was delayed, and we didn't get there until after the ship left." This person was in a $20,000 cabin. But they figured the hour flight that they had to get there would be fine. And it wasn't. And they ended up missing their cruise. Yeah, you get my drift. If you're spending a lot of money on your cruise, fly in a day before. It's far less stressful, far easier, because so much can happen if you don't. So yeah, always arrive at least one day. And the farther you travel, add another day, add an extra day, because again, you never know what can happen. Also, when you get on that ship, the first time you get on the ship, 98% of the people run to the buffet. They're heading to the buffet. Let's get some lunch. Go to the buffet. Buffets are super crowded. Most ships have alternatives. Some of them will have a dining hall open where you can go and eat in the dining hall. Way less crowded, and you get food made to order. You can also go to some of the restaurants around. Oasis class ships will have a restaurant open, say for instance, over on the boardwalk or over in Central Park that you can go and have lunch on embarkation day. There are places on ships. Research your ship to find where you can go other than the buffet. Unless you enjoy sitting with the other 3,000 passengers looking for a table in the buffet at noon on a cruise ship. Yeah, it's a thing. And finally, one of the big things that I want to say, well, 2 things. I got one more. I'll say the last one. Research your ports you're going to. Because I've seen people book a $55 beach experience shore excursion, only to find out when you get off the ship, they walked to the beach. And when you walk to the beach, you could have gone there for free. $55, but they got there for free. You know what? 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 But that's the way it is on some ports I've been to. Also, some places are really entertaining just to get out and walk around the port itself. Alaska is a perfect example. You know, I love just getting out and walking around Skagway and Ketchikan. The atmosphere, the area, the sights, it's a fun place to walk around. The souvenir shops, the restaurants. You don't always have to do shore excursions. It can be just as exciting sometimes to just get out and walk around, but you also want to research the port you're going to make sure that's a safe area to do these things on. So again, research, research, research. And finally, I don't care what kind of insurance you have, but have medical insurance. Medical insurance if something goes wrong. And yeah, cancel for any reason insurance, fine. If you want to pay for that, get your money back insurance, yes. But if you're on a cruise ship and they have to medevac you away from the cruise ship because if something's going wrong, that can run into $50,000 to $100,000 depending on where you are all the time. And if you don't have medical insurance, you got to pay that yourself. Sometimes they'll make you sit in the hospital until that money's paid before they even look at you. So there's a warning. I've seen people on a 3-day cruise end up with tens of thousands of dollars of medical bills because they said, what can happen on a 3-day cruise? A lot can happen on a 3-day cruise. And until next time, which of those tips do you think is most important to me? It's still the insurance. Well, until next time, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.